Back, everyone. Expanding access to innovative cancer care through clinical trials. That's what Utah cancer specialists and START Research are doing. Joining me now to share more in the sponsored interview is Dr. Justin Call alongside Katrina Yarbro from START. And you are a patient as well. Thank you so much for being here. I will start with Dr. Call. What is the access that we're talking about and bringing hope to so many patients like Katrina?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having us. Cancer clinical trials are studies of promising new cancer treatments, and they're actually an essential part of cancer care. What they do is they provide access to innovative therapies for cancer patients, while also helping to advance the future of cancer medicine. Not all institutions, not all cities have access to these clinical trials, and expanding that access is really important.
Katrina, thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
I want you to tell your story, but also the fact that you have a clinical trial right in your backyard. So many patients have to go far and fly across the country just to find hope, just to find that instance of maybe this might work.
Yes. So I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer in 2022, and I went through standard treatment and stuff. Unfortunately, I did have slight progression, and my primary oncologist was like, hey, do you want to try clinical trials? There is one right next to you. Are you interested? And we can continue as standard care. I said yes. So I was hooked up with Dr. Call, and I've been on it for quite some time. I actually started a second new clinical trial. It's been really safe. They're on top of any kind of reported side effects, what kind of results I'm expecting and all that.
How much hope does that give you when you're hearing this and your doctor turns to you and says, are you interested in a clinical trial right here in Utah?
I am. I'm actually really, really excited just to know that I'm supporting science, supporting the next new treatments to give a lot of people more hope. That gives me so much joy.
Dr. Call, here's one of your patients right here talking about 3 years after the fact she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, and a clinical trial can mean everything. It can extend your life. It could save your life.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the misconceptions that we hear sometimes is that clinical trials are thought of as a last resort. And one of the things that we want to express is that these should be thought about much earlier. There are clinical trials for patients who have newly diagnosed cancer or patients who've been dealing with cancer for a long time. At any decision point in a patient's treatment journey, it's important to at least ask about clinical trials and what options might be available.
Can you imagine a patient dealing with a life-threatening illness and you're having to go on a plane, schedule these things, disrupt your entire family, your routine, and then here is something that's available? What would you like to tell some of our cancer patients? We've all been touched by cancer. Sure. My mom had uterine cancer, and it's a scary, scary mental thing and physical thing that you have to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Cancer turns people's worlds upside down. What we want to communicate is that for cancer patients out there, one of the things that's important is we want to encourage you to ask your oncologist about what clinical trials might be available for you at really any point on the treatment journey, and also to know that increasingly these innovative trials are available right here in Utah.
And all you have to do is go to that information on your screen. And it's also about awareness. You're talking to your oncologist, maybe they don't even know that these clinical trials are available. It is a two-way street.
Absolutely. So, and if we encourage the patient to ask their oncologist, encourage oncologists to think about these options, that's very important.
What I see and what I hear is hope is available for cancer patients through these clinical trials. UtahCancer.com and StartResearch.com. That is the resource to go to. Thank you to Utah Cancer Specialists and START Research for this sponsored interview.